let's talk a little bit about the surprisingly good things that you found during this time. Like, what are some of the things that you've seen that is just like, wow, that never would have happened if we weren't in this situation, or like it was cool to see some situation come up?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. One, I've had conversations on the phone with people that I might not would have ever talked to. And so, you know, on my 40 plus names of 60 and above, I've got this one guy, and I keep notes. I'm supposed to keep notes of how the conversation went and all that.
Yeah.
But I talked to this one guy, and now every time I call him, I go, man, what's the marriage advice today? You know, because he just, I first called him, you know, I'm like, hey, this is one of the pastors from Cross Church, and I really just want to check in on you guys. Want to pray for you if there's anything I pray for. Or how you guys doing? Are you able to get grocery stuff? You know, he's like, oh, we're blessed. You know, way better than a lot of people. I'm out on the farm. You know, he's kind of country talking, and he said, now what do you do again? I said, lead worship. And he said, Mal, you know, I grew up on them Heavenly Highway hymns, and you know, I love what you guys are doing, but just know that's what I grew up on. I said, man, I grew up on that too. I get it. And but then he started. He said, now, are you married? I said, yes, sir. He said, you got kids? I said, yes, sir. I said, I actually have a 6-month-old. He said, he got real quiet. He said, boy, you need to be loving on your wife. You need to listen to her. You need to help her. I mean, he starts giving me all these, you know, marriage advice. So literally every time I call him now, I just go, man, what's the advice for this week?
What's the word?
And it's been really fun, because I think, you know, in these kind of moments, people just want to know that they're heard and loved. And so I've actually loved talking to people that I might not would have ever had conversations with, you know, because they're not on the worship team, or we just don't run the same kind of paths. Yeah. And so some of the 70, 80-year-old people, I mean, I felt like the Lord saying a couple years ago that I needed some older folks in my life. I know that sounds weird, but I felt like I was just around people my age, and that's good in a lot of ways because we're in the same stage of life and that kind of thing. But I was just missing some older, you know, I kind of wanted to
guidance.
What is it? You used to do that voice. I just remembered it.
What are y'all doing?
Is it your grandmother? Or
oh no, Nani. I don't understand all this coronavirus, Matthew. Listen to me. I'm not kidding. She is out there. Nani does not care one bit about any coronavirus.
She's done lived through it all, man.
She lived through it all, watching Jeopardy and crossword puzzles every day of her life. Like, Matthew, I don't understand why is everybody so upset staying at home? I stay home all the time.
Oh man, that's so good. But yeah, so I think just having conversations with people like that has been a lot of fun. I think what's been really good for me personally is the amount of time. I mean, I'm working from home a lot right now, and so the amount of time I'm having with my daughter and my son and my wife right now. I mean, it's you know, we're super blessed. I'm super thankful that I have a job right now. I know a lot of people don't, and so I don't want to take that for granted. And I'm thankful that we were able to kind of slow. You know, I had listened to a lot of sermons and was reading a lot of books about the fact that one of the biggest struggles in especially American culture right now was hurriedness. And so just to be already in a process of trying to figure out how to be a dad and be a husband and lead a ministry and do all those things, and everyone's dealing with anxiety in some way, and just to figure out how to actually slow down and just be present where I'm at. And so it's forced that, whether I wanted it to or not, it's forced that. And so I think that's been really good for a lot of people. And then some people are just waiting for it to be over. They don't want to really, they don't want to sit in this, and I don't either. I don't think naturally anybody wants to sit in it, but that's been a pretty big growing thing in the middle of this.
Courtney's been doing a lot of teletherapy with her kids, and so like that's been a shift for sure for physical therapists and all kinds of therapists and medical professionals is doing telemedicine, and she's like she is so ready to get back. We've but it's funny because like the last 3 or 4 weeks now, I feel like we've finally hit a stride where like I work from home already. So like I'm in PJs. I'm just look good from waist up all the time. And so I have been watching the kids in the mornings while she's been doing her meetings. And then we switch in the afternoon and like trading off homework, things like that. And I feel like we've just now gotten in a groove. And now next week, the kids are going to start going back to like a daycare, and then Courtney's going back to school or going back to work. And so it's just like, we just got used to all this and now we're going back. But it has been fun having them around and everything, even though it's gotten chaotic several times.